Feeding ducks bread may be something you've grown up doing, but giving the animals this starchy snack isn't so much a treat, but rather what is said to be slowly killing them. Signs were put up in Memorial Park in Herne Bay earlier this year to try and warn people of what they should be feeding ducks. But Councillor Andrew Cook thinks that more still needs to be done to educate people and that fines should be imposed as a last resort.
I think over a period of time it will work, but we may have to do further education on the way through. I'd hate to think of us fining people for throwing bread in a pond for ducks. It's quite difficult for the likes of you and myself to actually approach people about that. But I think if you've got an enforcement officer or a PCSO and they just happen to stroll along and mention it, then they probably will actually cease the action that they're doing and not do it again.
Now I'm here in Memorial Park in Herne Bay. In my hands are some lettuce and some duck pellets, which is what you are allowed to give them. Now, although none of the ducks want what I have to offer right now, bread is actually bad for them, yet people are still continuing to feed them with it. But what may seem like an innocent act could actually cause a disease known as angel wing that affects how ducks fly and could eventually kill them.
Well, it's great that people want to feed the ducks in the local park, but bread to a duck is kind of like junk food. The things you can feed ducks are based around plant grains or seeds, so things like sweet corn, take it out of the tin first, peas, make sure they're not frozen, porridge oats are good, grapes cut in half so that they can swallow them easily, and rice, cooked or uncooked.
Tim from Herne Bay comes to Memorial Park almost every day and noticed the state of what is normally a beautiful place going downhill and contacted the council.
We were a bit concerned because a lot of people were throwing bread in ostensibly to feed the ducks, and the ducks had had enough, and the bread was just floating on the surface of the water. The water was getting very smelly and discoloured.
Despite waiting years for the signs, they don't seem to have fully worked. And a fine for throwing bread to ducks is extreme to most people, but in order to save ducks and our ponds, we may have to help them ditch the carbs. Isabel Miller for KMTV.